What you got, Jay Waters?
Hey guys, thanks for the webinar. So I'm in Florida. A little bit of a scenario that happened a couple shifts ago. Unknown suspect walks into the Walmart with his own personal duffel bag. While in the Walmart, he commits a misdemeanor retail theft. A part of the retail theft was him putting his personal duffel bag that he brought into the store inside of a backpack. Takes the backpack, puts one or two more stolen items inside of it. He goes to walk out, failing to render payment. There you got your retail theft. The loss prevention tries to stop him. While stopping him, they get into a little bit of a scuffle. During that scuffle, Walmart retrieves their property bag, that being the bag, which contained this guy's personal bag, and the suspect also drops the phone, or his phone, I'm sorry. So one of the LPOs, or one of the loss prevention guys, picks up the suspect's phone. The suspect runs out of the store. LPO yells at him, "Hey, I have your phone. You need to come back in." The guy voluntarily comes back in. And as he's going into the loss prevention office again, he takes off running again, leaving his phone behind, leaving his black bag behind. So obviously they call us out there, patrol the area, can't find the suspect, go to the loss prevention office, reeks of weed. My thought process was, okay, at this point, he's abandoned his black bag. So I searched the bag without a warrant, find trafficking amount of drugs. After I found trafficking amount of drugs, I'm looking through the bag still. I find an ID with this guy's name on it. Well, I didn't know it was his name, but it was his name.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a credit card with his name on it. So before that, I knew that it was his actual credit card. I'm starting to think to myself, okay, we don't know who the suspect is. I'm going to get a search warrant for his phone so that way I can figure out who he is. Once I find that credit card, I go through the databases. I positively identify this guy as a suspect. So now in my head, I don't have a reason to get a search warrant for the phone. As I'm thinking through it, I'm thinking to myself, okay, but he abandoned his bag. So theoretically that he dropped it, whatever, he voluntarily left the store and left his phone behind. So then I was starting to think that, okay, can we now do a phone dump on this phone because he abandoned the phone? So my consensus at first was, yes, absolutely is abandoned property. He had multiple opportunities to come back, get the phone. Obviously the loss prevention officer is not a agent of the government, so we didn't do anything wrong. And then I started thinking, okay, maybe the phone was abandoned property, but is the content inside of the phone considered abandoned? Because now you can log into it from a different phone or a different computer. And obviously the phone dump will reveal all of that. So I was just trying to see your thoughts on if that's abandoned property, if the content inside the phone is also considered abandoned property, or if you try to work your way through a search warrant for the phone to obviously see where these drugs are coming and going to.
What do you guys think?
Was it locked, the phone? And
So when we got there, but before we got there, the phone was on and there was people calling him, but due to the time lapse, the phone died before we got there. So I don't know if it would have a lock on it, if it wouldn't, because we haven't manipulated it at all.
I mean, most phones do. I don't know. I don't think he's relinquished expectation of privacy in the digital contents of the phone just by dropping it. Because I mean, just assuming it's going to lock after a period of time. I mean, anybody walking by can't just pick it up and hook it up to Cellbrite or GrayKey and get all that data. So I don't know. Abandonment on phones is kind of hard for me. As far
Well,
as the
what if
digital
it was a
contents.
duffel bag with a lock on it, and the cops cut the lock off?
Yeah, but that's easy to get into. Anybody can cut a lock off a phone, but not anybody can break a
What was it?
passcode.
It's what capacity they have. Yet
I mean, the theory is that anybody can come by and access that bag or whatever. Like anybody walking by. I guess that's where the expectation of privacy loss is. But
hmm
with a
Well,
phone, I just see it differently.
I'm of the position that I'm going to give you this case, but there's also the Texas case that I'm trying to find, the one where they did download the phone. It was Harris County after a shooting. The suspect left it on top of a car. And I got to tell you, when I was reading that case, I was like, man, they were like, it was like 16 hours later, Zach, that, it was a shooting, 6 suspects. They tried to take over a card house in Houston area. And this is not a podunk agency. And I'm like, man, you guys are, I mean, that's pretty bold, man, to like, download a phone 16 hours afterwards. You had plenty of time. It's a big case. And I'm reading this case and I'm kind of like going like this, like, man, I think it's abandoned, but are they going to lose this one? And the court said, abandoned. So I think I'm glad it all worked out because they needed that phone was like the key piece of evidence for everybody, right? And I say, hey, I'm glad it all worked out, but man, that was a bold move to download a phone without a warrant. So I think that they can. I just think that they shouldn't. And it's very hard to me, Zach. It's very hard to say I really expect privacy. I know that the cops probably have the phone. They got whiz bang computers. They can download phones. I just think that's part of the expectations. If you let that phone,
it's not that I expect the cops can't get into it. It's that anybody can get into it. I think some of the abandonment cases are a little.
So the standard is that as long as it's physically possible for a stranger to get into it, then it's right. Then it's abandoned.
Well, that was what Greenwood was all about, like Snoops and Greenwood. That's what California Greenwood put when the trash out.
I mean, that's a trash context, but that's not what it's all. I mean, what about cops? I have plenty of cases where cops are using a locksmith to get into cars that have been abandoned. So
but that doesn't require any sophisticated technology.
I just don't know if it. I don't know if they. I don't know. I'm just again. I can't see it that way. I can't say is we're gonna have to analyze the level of sophistication to get into the abandoned property. It's either abandoned or it's not. I just. John, you have anything that?
No, the only issue that I have is if we're looking at it from a level of sophistication or advanced technology, then no cell phone can ever be abandoned.
Yeah, I mean, put a password on it. Then you can never. Where's that case at? And also it's really hard to get into Teslas. And
to get out of it.
Can a Tesla ever be abandoned? I mean, you're breaking something to get into that thing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, but not abandoned, confiscated by officers. That's not the standard. The standard is, would a person have a subject of expectation of privacy? The answer is probably yes. Maybe I can, because it has a password on it. Is it objectively reasonable? The answer is probably no. But I would get a warrant. Anything else?
No, I mean, my thought process on it was, if there's a random phone found on the street, absolutely not, because we don't know if this phone is abandoned or if it was just lost. But because this guy doubled down, he dropped his phone. Yes, it was an accident that he dropped his phone. Then he ran out of the store. And then the employee said, hey, I have your phone. You need to come back in. He comes back inside, and then he doubles down on running out of the store, knowing that he's leaving his phone behind, knowing that he's abandoning it behind. It's just, for me, I think the physical property is abandoned. I just had the hard time with the content on the phone. I don't think that's necessarily abandoned.
Look, I understand. I think you actually sold me more on it. Quite frankly, he did more.
So that's kind of where I got stuck. So we're going to download his entire phone.
So the first,
he shouldn't run away from his phone next time.
The first time he ran out, right? We say, oh, that's a lost phone. So what can I do? I can make a limited search of that device for owner information. The second time, when he comes back and then intentionally affirmative conduct abandons that phone, leaves it behind, it is abandoned.
Yeah, and Andrew's talking about loss versus abandoned. The question for me is mislaid property versus abandoned. Mislaid property is when you have a reason to believe the person did not intend to, leave it behind. They mislaid it. They are seeking it out. They would, if given an opportunity, they would want to come back and grab it. That's generally, that's the difference between leaving your wallet behind at the convenience store because you got an emergency phone call and you just forgot your wallet versus robbing the joint and leaving the wallet behind when it's abandoned. Zach is saying that that's fine. He's probably fine with that because at the level of sophistication. But I've just never seen a case. Greenwood is not really. It's never seen a case that says it all depends on how much work it takes to get into the item. I just never seen that.
Well, can I just say that you all have just proven why the reasonable expectation of privacy test is circular and it makes
100%.
it's not.
And judges matter, huh?
Yeah.
Judges absolutely matter.
Under a physical intrusion test, this is a search, and I think it's still his property. So anyway, that's a debate.
Oh, I see. Right, but yeah, and that's a kind of a tough one.
He hasn't lost his possessory interest in it.
Yeah, he has.
No, he hasn't.
He abandoned it.
Not his possessory interest, his privacy interest, maybe.
No, he absolutely has lost his possessory in a sense. I mean, if he wants to, that's the trash case. If he wants to just leave it at a Walmart and run away from it and never do anything, even though he's given the opportunity to get it back, he's definitely lost. I mean, it's trash. One man's trash is a man's treasure. I don't see it that way. I think he has a big problem. I'm not saying it's a slam dunk. I just think under possessory, but he has a problem. He definitely has an issue trying to convince me, at least, that he has a protected interest in that phone. But anyway, all right, Waters, good talk. I like it.